So anybody that lives in New England knows that very quickly in late fall, early winter, things can look like this very quickly. I wanted to get both the tub and the chassis in the garage in the one stall at the same time. And so this is what I came up with. If you'd like to see how I did this, take a look at the rest of the video. And if you like the video, please subscribe and hit the like button. It just helps my video and it helps more people be able to see my videos. I'm going to put these scrap pieces of wood on here just to hold them in position while we are setting up all the posts and the horizontal braces. But I want to make sure it lines up with this front 2x3 just so I can put the cross braces on. I'm going to secure two of these in place on my garage door rails, runner rails. They actually already have holes put in them, so I can just use those. It doesn't really have to hold a lot. All it is just keeping it from shifting to side to side. I'll put another one over there. Now I just have to support this horizontal post, which Tracy is going to give me a hand with. This is probably the trickiest part just because you have to reach over. And I'll show you where I want this horizontal board to sit.
Coming off the inside.
That's just okay. Perfect.
Oh my god.
All right, you got it. Now we just have to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just tacking it for now. some corner bracing in just to stiffen it all up. Series of holes from here all the way through to the other side. And what that's going to do is allow me to put this 3/4 steel pipe through the holes, and that's going to be the structure that's going to hold my chain falls. I'm going to put a set of chain falls on that side and a set on this side. A 1 1/8 bit, spade bit with a drill to make those holes. And now we're ready to flip this over, and I'm gonna lower those chain falls down through the body once this is flipped over, and I'm gonna attach them to these bars. I'm gonna put them through the hooks, and that's gonna help stabilize it so I don't just grab at a center point. Let's give it a shot. Really happy with this. This is actually lifted up. We have the bars going through the hook in the center. I have a safety board that I'm going to actually screw in. I'm going to actually screw it in a little bit better, and I'm going to get one more 2x4 and go across here, just so it's really secure and really won't, wobble back and forth like this. So that's going to really make this a good project to work on in the winter, because I won't have to shovel that off if I want to work on that, and I don't have to put it in hibernation for the whole winter. I can continue working on both. I can work on the motor. Probably when I work on the motor, I'll just roll the Jeep forward a little bit more. But when I work on the brakes, I'll be able to, I can still lift that up a little bit higher. When I have some time, I'm gonna lift that all the way up as high as it'll go. I think it'll go almost to that top beam there. And then I'll secure it, lock it in. I'll even put a safety strap on it just to make sure that won't fall. And then when I want to test fit it, I can just lower it down on it and test fit it, then lift it back up. Because I still have the floorboards to do. I still have a lot to do on that tub. But I'm running out of time where the snow is gonna be coming. And it comes quick, and it drops a lot of snow at once. All right, guys, well, for my American friends, have a great Thanksgiving coming up, and I will see you next week. And next week we'll probably start working on the shocks and working on more of the chassis. All right, have a great week, guys. Details that I feel like are pretty important when you're building something like this. When you don't want to totally rely on the screws, what you want to do is line up your points of load. So you'll see here and here are both being supported by this vertical post. It isn't relying on the screws much at all, other than just keeping it together. These diagonal braces that acts as a reinforcement so it don't wobble back and forth. And putting a 2x4 on the vertical this way, and then making a T shape out of it, where you put another, I use a 2x3 here, that's called a strong back. And that's a very, very strong structure right there. And if you just use the 2x4, this would bow out. Like as weight gets put on it, it would bow out. But with this here, it's a strong vertical post. So those are kind of a few key things that really make it a strong, sturdy structure to hold this tub. This tub actually is heavy, but it's not incredibly heavy. It's not, those chain falls are rated for, that one's for 1 ton, this is for a 1/2 ton. And that side is definitely not getting 1,000 pounds. So, it's definitely a good thing to have. It works out pretty good. I would love to have a beam that goes across the center here and have a trolley that I could do it that way, but I'm just not able to do that with this garage. But this works out pretty well. In the overall cost, not including the chain falls, which you can get those actually relatively cheap, this whole structure cost me It was about $60. So that really isn't too bad. And I would say about 2 hours of my time, it went together really quick because a lot of these didn't have to be cut. These are all 8-foot lengths. The only parts that had to be cut are the diagonal braces and the this vertical board here, which I subtracted 5.5 inches from to make it so these could rest on top of it. I didn't even cut the boards going across there. I'm not worried about that look, you know, that it's flush. I'd rather actually have it so when I dismantle this, I have full 8-foot 2x4s. All right, guys. Well, that's definitely going to be it, and I will see you next week.